Hello, I'm Azeem Azhar, and welcome to Really Possible from Elastic. There's so much going on in the world of AI today, and it can be daunting for companies to get started. So today, I'm going to talk to execs and get their insights on how you overcome the challenges on your AI journey. So what have been the main challenges that you've seen organizations run into as they think about their implementing AI?
Education. If you want me to choose one, education.
That is how well the senior executives understand.
How everybody understands it. So it's the first time in history where we have a tool which is accessible to all. There is no limits. Everybody can be excited about it. So you see what I mean? It's not a specialist thing. So you have boards that don't understand this at all. You have executives that don't understand it at all. And it just flows down. And to some degree, maybe the average citizen in a company or in a government know more about it than the senior people. But it's not the senior people that are a problem at all. It's just the relationship of knowledge across all of these. How do we develop, every one of us, develop a better intuition of what these things do and don't do versus we're making stuff up, we're assuming what it does and doesn't do. You'd be surprised how many people have an opinion about what these things do and don't do that don't use them.
Sometimes execs feel that they're too late to this because we've seen the newspaper headlines over the past few years about generative AI and chatbots. I don't think execs are too late at all. I think we're only getting started now.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think we're too late at all. In fact, arguably, we're a little bit early. I do think it might be a bit of a pets.com moment, right? So,
what do you mean by that?
So I mean that the internet came about, we had a bunch of cool ideas, there were a whole bunch of .com kind of startups created. The ideas were legitimate and arguably correct in hindsight, but for whatever reason, the whole thing didn't really land, right? And so I would argue we're in a similar phase now with generative AI, which is it's truthfully an amazing technology. It's truthfully going to deliver incredible amounts of value, but there are very limited examples where there are very sizable implementations delivering huge amounts of kind of revenue.
But what are the challenges and what are the concerns that executives face when they move from that beautiful picture of the future to the reality of building these things out?
Project managers who are delivering digital transformation projects need to understand what it can and what it can't do. Kind of every line of business needs a bit more familiarity. There's just so many questions in every dimension, and I think, but you only answer those questions by making investments and taking the steps, and
you've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think to not start that and just to hope that, the best use cases will reveal them to yourself, I think would put you, quite far behind.
So when you talk to an exec in your role, what is the first thing you try to get them to do to go on this journey?
Very rarely is a business problem a technology problem. It's a customer acquisition problem. It's a customer retention problem. It's a competition problem. It's a pricing problem. And then you think, how can I use technology to address that? And so in some sense, I don't think it changes the agenda of what needs to be done in a business, but I think it does change the tools at which you can address it. And if you are commissioning a digital transformation project, if that's not part of your consideration, then you might be missing something big.
What about this problem of hallucinations, that the models don't know the difference between right and wrong, and so can sometimes make things up?
Hallucination is a thing, but there are actually very strong techniques for mitigating the risks of hallucination. I mean, the first thing to say is that humans also make mistakes. And for any really critical business process, you will typically have multiple parties, and we can use that kind of human-in-the-loop control points. That's a very effective strategy. Secondly, generative AI models can be fine-tuned to do specific tasks where they provide outputs in a structured schema. And then you get all of the power of a generative model, but you can actually get all of the benefits of, old school supervised learning. So you can get precision, recall, statistics, and confidence estimates, but you just need a little bit additional kind of engineering work.
You talked about adaptive, and I wouldn't know how to adapt unless I'm getting some data back from the market that says this worked, continue to do more of it, or this didn't work, so try something else that's new. So how do you close that loop?
One might controversially argue that nobody's doing AI because most systems in production are not adaptive. That's not a very helpful comment because over the past several decades, new advances in algorithms plus data plus compute allow us to do some incredible things. And so when you're deploying AIs in production, we typically always have human in the loop. We have humans that are looking at the output of the AIs, the decisions that are being made. We try to get a confidence in terms of the understanding that decision. And where the AIs are not confident, it brings the humans in. So you've got to find this right balance of giving autonomy to AIs to make those decisions, and then seeing where those decisions differ or have made mistakes. And that's where you need the human being.
When you look out over the next 2 years, what do you think a successful business that has successfully taken the right steps towards AI will look like?
My worry is that over the next few years, organizations are going to try to hire generative AI experts. They're going to try to solve a lot of these problems themselves, and there'll be a mass misinvestment. So I would encourage organizations to be kind of honest about their capability to attract AI talent, their capability to maintain those innovations, to support those innovations, and really choose the right partners or the right talent to make sure that they're driving value.
So if you had to advise an executive about the next 2 to 3 years to make sense of this, or given their short attention spans and busy diaries, what is the one thing that you would tell them to make sense of it?
Some problems are not even data problems, but for problems running an enterprise where it is possible to quantify success, then there's this opportunity, as many companies have shown, to invest in the software engineering, to invest in the data engineering, to invest in a data team to figure out how can running that company be reframed, or some aspect of running that company can be reframed as stochastic optimization, and the numbers that you care about can be made to go up. That said, not everything is a data problem, not everything is a KPI problem, and a lot of running a company well is about culture, it's about strategy, it's about making big bets and finding a new hill rather than trying to optimize the hill that you're on. So at least understanding how to use data as a capability, I would say, is part of the story.
Find out what's really possible for your business with Search AI. Learn more at explore.elastic.co.